The English Pod. Speak English confidently.
Welcome to the English Pod, your space to relax, listen, and grow in English without stress. Imagine this. Your alarm goes off, and before you know it, your entire day begins to roll like dominoes. One habit leads to the next.
Yes. And here's something fun to think about. Every single step of your day, waking up, brushing your teeth, making coffee, checking your phone, it's not just action, it's also language.
Exactly. And today, we're going to explore how your everyday routine can actually become your best English practice tool. So before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and join us for more exciting podcast episodes.
Sam, I have to admit something. Mornings are kind of a love-hate thing for me. Sometimes I wake up full of energy, and other times I just want to hit the snooze button 10 times.
Oh, I get that. A lot of our listeners feel the same. For me, coffee is the magic trick. One strong cup, and suddenly I'm ready to take on the world.
Ah, coffee, the international survival tool. But our routines are more than just waking up and grabbing a drink. They're little habits that shape our whole day. And they're also amazing opportunities to practice English.
We're not just talking about routines in general. We've invited someone really special to walk us through an entire day, from morning to night, and along the way, she'll highlight powerful beginner-friendly English words and phrases you can use in your daily life.
She's not only a teacher, but also someone who makes learning super practical and fun. Please welcome our guest, Dr. Maya, an expert in the English language.
Dr. Maya, thank you for being here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you, Sam and Lena. I'm really excited to be here and to share my daily routine with everyone. We'll go step by step, morning, afternoon, evening, and night. And I'll also break down some useful vocabulary along the way.
That sounds perfect. So let's not waste any more time. Let's dive straight into the very first part of your day, the morning routine.
So, my mornings usually begin at 6 a.m. I'm an early riser and I love the quiet of the morning. The very first thing I do is open the curtains to let in the sunlight. Natural light makes me feel awake instantly. Then I spend about 5 minutes doing a short meditation, just sitting quietly, breathing slowly and calming my thoughts. It's like giving my mind a fresh start. After that, I roll out my yoga mat and do some gentle exercise, stretching, or a few yoga poses. Nothing too intense, but enough to get my body moving and my energy flowing. Next, I head to the bathroom. I brush my teeth, wash my face, and most importantly, I take a shower, because nothing makes you feel fresher than a lukewarm shower. When I come back, the first thing I do is drink a big glass of water to hydrate. Some days I even add lemon. It wakes me up and feels refreshing. Then comes my favorite part, breakfast. I like to keep it healthy. Maybe oatmeal with fruit, eggs with vegetables, or toast with avocado breakfast really gives me energy for the whole morning. Finally, before starting work, I spend 10 minutes writing in my journal. I usually write down one thing I'm grateful for and check my to-do list or planner so I know what's ahead for the day. So yes, that's my morning routine. Wake up, meditate, exercise, get ready, hydrate, eat breakfast, and plan my day.
Wow, Dr. Maya. That sounds like a really balanced and healthy morning. Can we talk about some of the words you just used?
Of course. Let's highlight a few useful ones for our listeners.
Perfect. Let's start with the basics.
So let's break down some of the words from my morning routine. The first one is wake up. It simply means to stop sleeping.
That's a daily word for sure.
Yes, for example, I wake up at 6 a.m. every day. Listeners, you can try it. Say out loud, I wake up at, and add your own time. Next is meditation. This means sitting quietly and focusing on your breathing or thoughts to feel calm.
Oh, I like that one.
Here's how I use it. I do 5 minutes of meditation in the morning. You can practice by saying, I do meditation for a few minutes. Then we have exercise. That's any kind of physical activity to stay healthy.
Like running, yoga, or even just walking.
Exactly. For me, I exercise for 20 minutes every morning. What about you, listeners? You can try saying, I exercise in the morning or I exercise after school, work. Another useful one is hydrate. To hydrate means to give your body water.
So basically, drink water.
Yes, for example, I hydrate with a glass of water after waking up. You can say, I hydrate with tea or I hydrate with juice. Now, let's talk about healthy breakfast. That's a breakfast that gives you energy and good nutrition.
Like eggs, fruit, or oatmeal.
Exactly. I usually say, I eat a healthy breakfast with eggs and fruit. Listeners, try saying your version. I eat a healthy breakfast with... Here's one I really love. Journal. A journal is a notebook where you write about your thoughts, feelings, or plans.
Oh, that's a good one for practicing English, too.
Yes, I use it like this. I write in my journal every morning. And you can try. I write in my journal at night or on weekends. Finally, we have to-do list. That's a list of tasks or things you plan to do during the day.
I can't live without mine.
Me too. For example, I check my to-do list before starting work.
I love how these are just simple, everyday actions. But when you put them into English, suddenly you're learning and practicing at the same time.
Exactly. Listeners, remember, don't just listen. Say these words out loud. Connect them to your own life. That's how fluency grows. Great. Let's move into the afternoon routine in the same natural podcast-style flow we used for the morning routine. It will feel realistic, healthy, and easy for A1 to A2 learners, with Dr. Maya sharing her habits first, then breaking down the vocabulary with Sam and Lena.
So, after a productive morning, my afternoon usually starts with a short lunch break around 1 p.m. I like to keep my lunch light, maybe a salad with chicken or rice with vegetables. Eating something balanced helps me stay focused. After lunch, I usually feel a little sleepy. So, instead of reaching for more coffee, I take a 15-minute power nap. It's short, but it gives me so much energy for the rest of the day. When I wake up, I make a cup of green tea or sometimes just drink more water to refresh myself. Then I spend a big part of my afternoon working. That means answering emails, preparing lessons, or meeting with students. But I always try to take a short break every hour, just to stretch or walk a little. Sitting for too long makes me tired. Around 4 p.m., I usually have a small snack like fruit, yogurt, or a handful of nuts. It keeps my energy steady until dinner. So, my afternoon routine is have lunch, take a short nap, do focused work, take breaks to move, and enjoy a light snack.
I really like how you included a nap in your afternoon. That's something many people don't talk about. Can we go over the keywords from your routine?
Of course. Let's start with the first word, lunch break, the time you stop working to eat lunch. For example, I usually take my lunch break at 1 p.m.
That's a very useful phrase for students and workers.
Power nap, a short sleep, usually 10 to 20 minutes to get more energy. For example, I take a 15-minute power nap after lunch.
That sounds amazing. I think I need to add power naps to my life.
Green tea, a healthy type of tea, often used for energy and relaxation. For example, I drink green tea in the afternoon instead of coffee.
I love green tea, and it's easier on the body than strong coffee.
Short break, a quick pause in work or study to rest. For example, I take a short break every hour to stretch my legs.
That's so practical. Even standing up for 2 minutes makes a difference.
Snack, a small amount of food you eat between meals. For example, I eat a snack like fruit or nuts in the afternoon.
Yes, snacks are lifesavers, especially during long study sessions.
Exactly. And just like in the morning, these little habits make the day smoother and give you plenty of simple English words to practice.
So, listeners, here's a tip. Try describing your own afternoon. Even if it's just 2 sentences like, I take a lunch break at 1 o'clock or I eat a snack in the afternoon.
Yes, the more you say these things out loud, the more natural they'll feel.
After a busy afternoon, my evening routine begins around 7 p.m. That's when I usually have dinner. I like to keep my dinner light but satisfying, maybe grilled fish with vegetables or a bowl of soup with bread. After dinner, I spend some time unwinding. Sometimes I go for a short walk in the park, or if I'm at home, I listen to soft music or read a book. It helps me relax after the day's work. One important part of my evening is family time. I love sitting with my family, chatting about our day, or even watching a movie together. Before bed, I always wash my face and brush my teeth. Those little habits help me feel fresh. Then I usually make myself a warm cup of herbal tea. It's caffeine-free, so it helps me feel calm. Finally, I try to wind down with something quiet, like reading or writing a few lines in my journal around 10:30 p.m. I go to bed so I can wake up early the next day. So my evening routine is dinner, relax, spend time with family, prepare for bed, and wind down with a book or tea.
That sounds so peaceful, Dr. Maya. Can we talk about some of those evening words?
Of course, let's go through them together. The first word is dinner, the main meal of the evening. For example, I usually eat dinner at 7 p.m.
Dinner time is such a nice part of the day, especially with family.
Unwind, to relax after being busy or stressed. For example, I like to unwind by listening to music in the evening.
Oh, that's a great word. Unwind feels like taking the weight off your shoulders.
Walk, to move at a slow pace on foot. For example, I take a walk after dinner to feel fresh.
Yes, even a 10-minute walk makes you feel lighter.
Herbal tea, tea made from herbs and flowers with no caffeine. For example, I drink herbal tea before bed to sleep better.
That's a lovely routine. I think I need to try herbal tea instead of scrolling on my phone at night.
Wind down, to slowly get ready for rest or sleep. For example, I wind down with a book before bed.
That's such a calming phrase. Wind down means slowing your mind and body.
Exactly. And just like in the morning and afternoon, these small habits are not only good for your health, they also give you simple, daily English words you can practice.
So listeners, here's your challenge. Tonight, say out loud one sentence about your evening. Maybe, I unwind with music, or I drink herbal tea.
Yes, the more you connect your real life with English words, the faster your fluency grows.
After my evening activities, my night routine begins around 10 p.m. I like to keep it simple, relaxing, and healthy. First, I prepare my bedroom. I dim the lights, make sure my bed is clean, and keep my phone away. A calm space makes it easier to sleep. Then I usually write a few lines in my journal. I write about what I'm grateful for or something good that happened during the day. Next, I do a few minutes of deep breathing or gentle stretching. This helps my body relax. Sometimes I also read a few pages of a book. Finally, I set my alarm for 6 a.m., switch off the lights, and go to sleep. By 10:30 p.m., I'm usually in bed, ready to rest and recharge for the next day. So, my night routine is prepare my bedroom, journal, relax with breathing or reading, set the alarm, and sleep.
That sounds like such a peaceful way to end the day. Can we go over some of those words?
Of course, here are some useful bedtime words. The first word is bedroom, the room where you sleep. For example, my bedroom is quiet and cozy.
Keeping your bedroom calm really helps with good sleep.
Alarm, a clock or phone sound that wakes you up. For example, I set my alarm for 6 a.m.
Yes, alarms are our best friends in the morning.
Sleep, to rest with your eyes closed, usually at night. For example, I try to sleep for 8 hours every night.
Good sleep is the best medicine.
Exactly. And just like the morning, afternoon, and evening, your night routine can also be a great way to practice English.
So listeners, here's today's bedtime challenge. Before you sleep, say one English sentence about your night. Maybe, I set my alarm, or I sleep at 10:30 p.m.
That way, even your night routine becomes part of your English learning journey. Sweet dreams, everyone.
So there you have it. Morning, afternoon, evening, and night routines, all in English.
Now it's your turn, listeners. Think about your own daily routine. Can you describe it in English? Even a few sentences make a big difference.
Exactly. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Remember, routines may seem simple, but they give you endless vocabulary to practice every single day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Maya, for joining us today.
It was my pleasure.
And thank you, listeners, for being with us. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and remember, every word you speak brings you closer to fluency.
We'll see you in the next episode of the English Fluency Podcast. Until then, keep talking, keep learning,